With much love, we welcome to the Live Show.
That's going on. And what we're doing with it also is everything is private. So we're creating these organizations so that people can come privately and get some healing, because it has nothing to do with traditional medicine, and it's not something that they welcome. So we've started these private organizations, and they're going to be built all over the world. If you're interested in helping us, we take donations of stones and metals, and we also take donations of fiat if you're interested in doing that anyway. And we also take donations of just spreading the word and telling other people about it. And you can go make a donation at gofundme.com/S as in Sam, EG13. And still haven't decided where the first one is going to be, but they're definitely going to be all over the world. We're creating places so that people can come and learn how to grow food. They can learn how to heal themselves through herbs and different medicines. They learn defense and discipline. They learn yoga. They learn how to keep their temples healthy. And so it's really an exciting venture for us right now.
Yes, as you mentioned, learn how to grow food. I even come across the fact that putting the organ energy next to your plant allow the plant to grow like 10 times faster than it would naturally.
Yes. We have people that we've been working with that we've given Orgone energy to help with their plants and with their crops, and it has been tremendously beneficial for them. I went to the last place that I was staying. I had all of my Orgone energy batteries there, and it made the flowers grow faster and brighter. There was a tree that we thought that the tree was dead because we didn't know what the tree was sprouting. And after 1 year, we learned that the tree was actually an apricot tree, and it grew from the Orgone energy being around it. So it's really a spectacular thing, and I recommend for everybody to do their research. It's not just about believing what I'm saying or believing what Vlad is saying. It's about you finding the research on your own so that you can know this knowledge so that you can use it for the benefit of your own life.
Exactly. So like she said, the children with autism, because many of us deal with the same situation where our children are affected by these so-called mental disorders. So this is, instead of trusting the system, giving them this poisons and things like this, it's best you keep an open mind so that you can help them in natural ways. You understand? So anything else you want to tell us about this, Marie?
I think another important thing that plays into the work that I do, and that's part of the reason why my name is Sex Energy Goddess 13, is because sexual energy is the most powerful energy that we have on the planet. And I talk about the way that it's encompassed in the Orgone energy battery, but one of the things that I talk about a lot is how it is within us. And sex is something that we're being poisoned with. If you look at the television, if you look at the media, you look all around, all you see is images of sex, and you see images of people and women almost not wearing any clothes, and men with their pants down, and everything is sex. And it's in a society that's not educated about the power of what sexual energy is. And so in their ignorance, they just begin to procreate, and they begin to use sex, and they begin to do it, creating more dysfunction, because every time you use sexual energy, you're creating and you're amplifying your intentions. So when we are not knowledgeable of how this energy exists in ourselves, it could be detrimental to our lives because we start creating from a place that we don't really know. So one of the things that I'm really passionate about is showing people how to connect to their own sexual energy and learn about themselves so that they're protected from the all of the programs that are out there telling you to just go have sex. You know, it's important for people to start knowing the truth about what this sacred act is, and it is a sacred ritual that is part of nature, and it's not about hiding the information, but the information has been hidden from us for many, many lifetimes. And in this lifetime now, we're starting to know the truth. So I am a big advocate about sharing sexual education and sexual knowledge with people so that they know what's really happening when they're engaging in sexual interaction.
Yes, that is very important, like you mentioned, though. Because it is a force, whether you understand it like that or not. So having a force, you have to be responsible with it, understanding what it's about and why using it and what can come about using it. There can be good, there can be very much bad. As you can see, it's been used the wrong way. Look what's happening around us today. Even our children are not immune to the problems, that comes about with that. Yes, you can continue, Mary.
It's a real powerful energy, and it creates more than just children. People think that the worst thing that can happen with them when they have sex is either to have a sexually transmitted disease or to have a child. And that's the least of your concerns, the least of your worries, because energy is very powerful. And when you unite with another person and you don't know what energy that person is carrying, you are bringing that energy into your physical space, into your being. And long after that person is gone, their effects are still having issues in your life. A person, you could break up with somebody and no longer be with them sexually, but you're still going to experience some of the energy that person brought to your life, man or woman. It's not, nobody is immune to it. Once you bring two energies together, you begin to create. And when you create, what you're creating are your subconscious thoughts. So let's say you're a person who believes that you're broke. You believe that you're poor. So in your subconscious, even if you're telling people, oh, no, I got it, I'm good, but if in your subconscious you truly believe that you don't have it, that you lack, whenever you come into contact with somebody in a sexual nature, you're creating that very thing that you're not wanting to attract. You are creating poverty. You're creating that consciousness. So whenever you connect with, and then if that person has that same kind of belief system, then it creates it even more. It creates even more of it, because everything is vibration and energy. So whatever it is that you believe, and I'm going to give you the example on the other way. If you are a balanced person and you believe yourself to be wealthy, and when I mean wealthy, I'm not talking about rich in money, because we have to recognize that we are the currency. Money cannot be without a soul being. Money is just a piece of paper. We are the ones that give that money energy. And once you start recognizing that you are the currency, you are the one that makes this energy, then you're on a whole different frequency. And so when you feel wealthy, when you feel your value, and you're feeling it right from your subconscious, then whatever you sexually create, then you are creating more of that wealth, more abundance. So that's why it's so important for people to be grounded and to be centered and cleared before they start engaging in sexual rituals, because they're going to be creating either way. You don't need to be a master magician to manifest, to create. It's what you're vibrating. So anyone can manifest and create, but it is the master who's able to consciously manifest and create things that they desire, create things that they want. The people that are creating things that they don't want, they're not recognizing or realizing that they're the ones that are making that creation.
Wow. So will you be giving classes, or are you already giving classes on tantric, the tantra sexual
energy?
Yeah.
I do the classes. I have a Master Vibe study group, and this study group is on OrgoneEnergySelfHealing.com. That's the online center.
Okay.
And I also do work with people one-on-one. I have packages right now that include a consultation along with an Orgone energy pendant for $155. And so I do that. And I travel, and I share this with people in a physical space. So that's what I've been doing each summer. So I'll start again this summer, and I'll be traveling, raising money for the center, and teaching people about orgasmic energy, self-healing, and sexual energy. So I'm available online or offline. When I start the tour again, I'll have the places exactly where I'm going to be at on the website, so you guys can come and check me out when I'm in your area.
Anytime. We can't wait. So any from what she said already, guys, any of you have any questions already in place, or should she just keep on so that you can raise your questions? No questions yet, huh? Yes, Marie, no questions yet, I believe. Yes, you can go ahead.
No problem. The whole process of self-healing is about a whole lot more than just what we see in the surface. There's a lot of things that are happening on the planet now. Everything is transforming. The world is changing. I think that people that see what's going on in the political world and in different countries see that we are in a great time of change. And a lot of people are afraid of this change. They're fearful because some people are calling it the end of the world. It's definitely the end of a time. It is the end of a time where there were slaves. It's an end of a time where, the elites ruled. And so the elites are not ruling anymore. It may seem like so because of the control that they have over the masses, but there is a whole other revolution that's going on. Go ahead, Vlad.
No, I just say for so long.
Yeah. They've been ruling for many, many lifetimes. Yes. And this is what some call the age of Aquarius. It's also called apocalypse. And so there's many names for it. But this is something that has been destined. So I know that some people that recognize Bible scriptures would see it. There was a time in the Bible or a scripture in the Bible that talked about the last shall be first. And so this is that time. And it is available for those people who want to receive it. This is available for people who are awakening to who they are. And it really is a huge undertaking. It requires focus, discipline, and dedication on every single level. There's no more, you can't ignore it. Once you've been awakened to the information of what exists and what could exist, then it's up to the individual to access it. And it's not for everyone. Everybody is not going to make it through this change. In the changing of times, like when we went from the Atlantic age, the Atlantis, and then we went to the Ice Age, and all of these different times that have existed throughout history. Well, that's what's happening now. So everybody's not going to make it because people need to be prepared for the evolution, for the change. And in order for people to get prepared for it, you have to begin with going back to nature, because we are an extension of everything. We are everything. We are part of nature. And so we have to start acting like nature acts. That's the only way to survive this transformation. If we try to do what we've been doing, then the only thing that's going to happen is we'll keep experiencing what we have been experiencing. And what we have been experiencing has been slavery. Because a lot of people don't recognize, they think that slavery is just being with chains and being, so-called black, and, that's slavery. But every single individual on this planet is enslaved. If you have a birth certificate and you have a social security number, that is your slave number. That is your document that they use to exchange. And I know that we didn't come here today to talk about that, but this is just part of being free.
Synchronicity.
Yes.
Everything is connected.
Yes, everything is connected. And it's important for us to know this information because there are things that can be done. And, I recommend to people to look at universal law. There's videos on what universal law is, what the laws are, what it means. And this whole planet is based on universal law, natural law. And so we have to be able to identify what these things mean in our lives so that we can start standing our ground and protecting ourselves from the false information that's being planted inside of us. And this information is planted inside of us through chemtrails, through vaccinations, through food. This is how they work. The people that are working against us, and there are powers that be that truly are working against us, and I think that those of you that are on the call tonight recognize that that is more true than not. People could ignore it if they want to, but there are hundreds and thousands of people dying of cancer, and this cancer is coming from parasites, it's coming from processed foods, it's coming from GMO, it's coming from poisons, it's coming from medicine. So there's a reason why those things are happening. And so on the other side of it, we have all of nature that offers us healing, that offers us solutions so that we can live a healthy, balanced life without needing to ask anybody permission to exist, without having to feel that we owe someone for our existence on the planet. We were meant to live as free beings, and there are laws, like actual laws, that protect us from that protect private people from being traded in the public, from being treated like cattle, from being treated like slaves. But we have to know that. A lot of us have been fooled that we are free because there are no chains around us. But when you look deeper, when you have to go to a 9-to-5 that you don't like, when you have to send your children out to a school that's abusing them and making them dysfunctional, when you are being forced to, carry certain types of things like a driver's license that's for commerce, when you are being forced to vaccinate your children for an education, that's slavery. No one should tell you what to do. Every person has the ability to self-govern. We have the right to be self-governed because the only one that has authority over us is Most High. But we're giving authority to people. We're giving authority to another man. We're giving authority to a person. And that is not the way that it's supposed to be. That is not natural. That is very unnatural. So all of this has to do with us really finding who we are, finding ourselves, and being able to have the knowledge so that we can facilitate what needs to be done so that we can protect ourselves. And I'm not even talking about, because a lot of people, when we talk about protection, they start to get scared and think, oh, I got to get a gun or I have to protect my family because they're going to come. It's not like that. It's protect yourself with the knowledge, and this knowledge is going to lead you to places where you will be free and there will be no one coming against you because you are divinely protected. The power that we have as individuals goes beyond anything that's here in the materialistic world. We're no longer in the third dimension. We're in the fifth dimension where we have access to all things. When you're able to see orbs, and a lot of people can catch them in pictures, when you're able to get this feeling, this sense that tells you what to do, that is your psychic, empathic energy. That's you're able to do that because you are connecting to nature. When you connect to nature, you connect to multi-dimensions, because all of that is part of nature. But we've been living in a society that has us locked up thinking that everything is materialistic, and it's not. So once we start connecting more to the natural side of ourselves, to our God within us, then we're going to be able to have the information, not just the information, but we're going to be able to have all of the things that we need so that we can live in balance. And I'm talking about, it's not, you don't want to think about, oh, well, I don't have this on, how am I going to get that? It turns into a world where when you're doing your rituals, you're doing the best that you can every single day, you're eating the right things for your body, you're treating people as you would want to be treated, you're giving love. When you start living in this way, things start opening up for you, things start appearing, things start showing up. And the more you have faith in that, the more you trust it, the more you know that you are an infinite being, the more things happen to you so that you can continue to live in that knowing. And so then the world of lack, the world of destruction and of negativity starts to fade away. And let me just say that it doesn't fade away in sense of, oh, you'll never, ever experience any negative energy or any challenge, because we're here on this planet so that we could evolve and learn. And the way that we learn is through our challenges. That's how we learn. But it's important to learn and use the knowledge, be active in the knowledge that you have attained so that you don't have to go through it anymore. But if you don't learn, you continue to go through the same things over and over and over again. And so this is what this is about, is so that we can now have a hand in what it is that we're creating and have balance and be able to determine and dictate where our energy is going, what it is that we're creating. We're being conscious manifestors by doing our self-work and knowing, having the faith that we're doing the right thing. We're following our inspiration. So there's and it's all about choice. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything, but there's a reason why you're here on this call tonight. There's a reason why you're having a feeling that you need something for your healing. You're looking for something more. And that very thing that you're looking for is already inside of you. It's inside of every individual soul being. And I say soul beings because we do live in a planet of people that are not people. We live in a place, whatever things that you have seen in movies, that actually exist here in this dimension. There are beings from other planets. There are beings that are soulless, that are demonic in nature, and they are disguised as people. They are disguised as melanated people, white people, Asian people. It comes in all kinds of forms because it's an energy. So it's it's a time for people to really be open-minded and start trusting their instinct. If it is not for you, you will know that it's not for you. But if there's something about this information that's making you curious and it's making you want more and want to know more, then you have to follow that because it's always going to lead you to the right path.
Yes. In other terms, trust your gut, basically.
Absolutely. Your trust is God. Your gut, your consciousness, that is Most High working in you all the time. So the more you trust it, the more clear that voice becomes.
Yes, indeed. So already we have someone in the chat that asked this question, but mostly about what you mentioned, what you were talking about earlier. It's basically a personal thing. She says she's like she just got married, but like she doesn't feel the passion she had before. And then even when she goes to bed with that man, she starts feeling, she want to enjoy, she want to feel the heat, but then once he starts touching her, it's all gone or something. So what should she do and what is missing or something?
She has to do some energetic cleansing. It's time for her to focus on herself. She has to spend some time with herself, maybe on some meditation, clearing negative energy. And her husband has to do the same thing. He has to work on himself because it could be that her body is rejecting something that he has within him, or it could be that the divine is just saying, don't do this right now because you both have to get ready. So you both have to be ready to be able to feel that energy. It could also be your diet, and it could also be that you're just not supposed to be in that space. And that's what I'm getting more than anything, because I tried to tell you something else, but it really goes back to where you are in your life. There are things that you're holding on to that need to be released. There are things that he's holding on to that need to be released. And it has to do also, even the things that you're consuming, the things that your diet is going to make a big difference in your energy. There is a natural herb that you can take that helps with libido. It's called maca, M-A-C-A.
M-A-C-A, maca.
Yeah, and you can get it from Sprouts, from your local health store, and you can also get it in a powder. And just make sure that it's the 100% natural herb, that they don't have any additives in it when you take it, and you can mix it with milk, or you can just take it in a capsule, and that will help your libido. And so there's things that you can take as far as herbs that will help your libido, but if energetically you're not cleansed, then it's not going to help. There's another thing, or let me not say that it's not going to help, the results will be very limited. The results will be limited if you're not doing a whole, full cleanse. There is another thing that you can do. It's called a yoni egg. A yoni egg is a stone, and you can get it at your local mineral store. You can also get them online, but I recommend you going to a mineral store so that you can feel them, because when you feel them, you will know which one you need to use. And so it's a stone shaped like an egg, and you insert the stone into your vagina, and you do Kegel exercises where you're squeezing the egg. So you continuously squeeze the egg, and when you're squeezing it, the intention that you're doing is you're releasing energy that is no longer serving you. You're releasing energy of past lovers. You're releasing detachments. And so you do that. Try that for a week. So, be with yourself. Give yourself some time. If you could do it for longer than a week, anyone that's having issues in their relationships. I always recommend at least 30 days apart. You don't have to not sleep together or go into another room or anything like that, but just abstain from sex for 30 days so that you can give yourself space to heal. Because it's really difficult to heal when you're trying to heal and then you're having sex, because you're bringing back all of the energy again, especially if you're not doing it at the same time. If your significant other is not on the same page with you in terms of healing himself so that he could bring you more beneficial energy when he inserts himself into you, then it's important to think about that relationship, because two frequencies that are not vibrating in the same way cannot exist together. So if you are on a different path than he is, it's going to be very difficult for you guys to continue with a union. So when it comes to couples, and I know this because I was with my partner for 26 years, we had to separate so that we could do our work on ourselves, and then we were able to come back together and be a lot stronger than we ever had been. But we had to take that time away so that we can work individually on the things that we needed to work on for ourselves. So it's so much more than just the physical aspect. When it gets to the point where you're not able to have sex or you're not feeling excited about it, that's really your body telling you there's something within that needs to be healed. So it's something that you have to both work on collectively in order for you to really get some healing. I hope that helps.
Okay. Someone asked if the egg, you say you can get it in any mineral stores and things.
Yes, like a crystal store, the store where they sell stones and crystals, they usually have yoni eggs.
Okay. So like you guys see, do you guys see the difference between the one in the know and the one who doesn't know? Her and her partner for 26 years, instead of, like the regular folks who just want divorce, fighting each other and just separate. But them, as being in the know and being conscious and being, self-aware, so they decide to go apart for self-healing, and then after bring back their energies together, and then they merge, and it's been beautiful since then. So in all aspects, being, like that's what I'm saying, just being in conversation with the people who know will help elevate your consciousness, you understand? Mm-hmm. Make you understand certain things about yourself that you did not understand before. You see, after you speak to a person like Marie, you're not the same person anymore, because she already open certain channels in your mind, whether you're conscious of it or not. So this is why it's very important to connect the people that been blessed to know themselves and connect them to the rest, because it takes all of us to make the planet what it's supposed to be. All right, so Mary, feel free to
another thing to really take into consideration is that your self-healing path is a path that you take by yourself. You're never alone because you're a divine being. So you always have everything that you need, and you always have the connections that you need. But you also have to be able to walk the path on your own, because it's not a popular one. Most people don't want to heal themselves. They rather, it's easier to ignore it. It's easier to do what everybody else is doing. But when you have to start following your instinct and following, that voice inside you, you're often the only one that hears it. So you have to be ready to take those steps on your own. It's very important to know that and to remember that you're not alone, but you have to be able to be with yourself. One of the biggest things, I know that one of the reasons why I manifested the separation with my partner, I know that I manifested it because it was the thing that I feared the most. I feared losing him. I feared not having him in my life. It was so bad that his life was more important to me than my own life. I was very afraid of losing this person. And so when you begin to do that, then the universe is going to show you exactly who you are, and it's going to bring about all of the fears that you have to see exactly how you're going to handle it. And so whatever needed to happen in my life happened, and that's when we became separated, because that fear came to be. I recognize my power, and I recognize that I'm an individual who can manifest very quickly. So if I'm afraid of something, it's going to happen in my life so that I can deal with that fear. And once I was able to deal with that fear, everything changed. I was no longer afraid to be with myself. I was no longer afraid of anything. And let me just say this, that fear is a natural thing. Fear is an emotion that we experience in this planet, and it helps us. Fear is very beneficial for us because it inspires us to act. When we're scared of something, sometimes we become stronger, if we're facing a life-threatening situation. So we don't want to look at fear as something that, we don't ever want to experience it, or we don't want to let our egos take over and be like, oh, I'm not afraid of anything, because sometimes I say that. Sometimes I'm like, I ain't afraid of nothing, and that's how I feel. But I know that there is something, I do have fears. One of my fears is being enslaved. My freedom means everything to me. So I will do everything that I have to do so that I could ensure that. So that fear drives me to study. That fear drives me to take action in my life because I don't want to be in a position where I have no control over my being. So fear is not a bad thing. It's just a matter of how we perceive it and how we use it in our lives so that we can benefit from that energy. It's a very, very powerful energy. But a lot of people get stuck in the fear. They don't face their fears. And in relationships, it's very common. People don't want to be alone. They don't want to be by themselves, so they tolerate anything and everything just so that they're not alone. So they've let their fear consume them and manipulate them into being in a relationship that is not beneficial because they would rather be in negative conditions than to be by themselves. People are fearing who they are because they don't know who they are. And so it's really important for us to embrace being with self. I'm not going to say being alone. You're never alone. Alone is, you ever see the movie where, what's his name, was in Wilson, what is it? The guy with Tom Hanks, and he was in an island all by himself, and what was that movie?
Oh yeah, something away, like not far away.
Oh man! Castaway. No wait.
Castaway. Yes.
Yeah, Castaway. Okay. Castaway. So that he was alone. And he still wasn't alone because there was the energy of the ocean. There was the energy, the life that came on into the plant. And so he learned how to survive in that space and even create an energy of company. To somebody else, that Wilson, that ball could be their friend Jesus, or it could be Buddha, or it could be whoever else they make it to be. It just depends on the individual. So, but it is important for us to be able to embrace that within ourselves, because in your stillness, in your being with yourself, that is really when you discover Most High. That's really when you make that connection. So we have to not be afraid of being with ourselves, because that's the thing that's going to help us the most.
Yes, and that's one journey that is unavoidable, too, you would say, huh?
Oh, yeah. It is unavoidable. And, there's something else that I wanted to talk about, and this is important because it all goes together, right? It's all part of the all, and that's your body. Say that again?
No, I say all part of the all.
Yes, all part of the all. Your body, your flesh, what the meat suit that you're in right now, this is not one that you've had your whole, well, you've had it this life, but your soul beyond this flesh is forever. It's everlasting. It is energy. It never dies. It only transforms, and it transforms to different things. So being here in the flesh is an honor because you have ascended to a great capacity because you're able to experience this dimension in a flesh body. When your soul goes out of the flesh body, it goes back to the all. Where that is, that's based upon you and Most High. That's between you, yourself, and Most High. So whatever karma, whatever you've done, whatever you've been able to gain in your soul, that's what determines where you're going to be when you leave this flesh. So if you have the knowledge of who you are, then you can pick and choose where it is exactly that you're going to go consciously. But if you don't, then it's going to be chosen for you. It's going to be determined by the energy, the vibration that your soul carries. So maybe you'll come back as a tree. Maybe you'll come back as a flower, a fish, a dog, a lion. Who knows? But your energy will always come back. Have you ever seen an animal, a dog or a cat, and felt very familiar with it and felt like this animal doesn't act like an animal, it acts like a person? You know, those energies that these animals carry, it could very well be somebody that's going to come into the next life as a person, or somebody that was a person at one time. So it's important for us to be able to have mind clarity. When you were a baby, you don't remember being in the womb, but you were there, right?
Yes, indeed.
That's the same thing that happens with our soul. You know, when people say, well, you were here another life, you had another life, most people are going to say no, because we're taught, no, one life to live, blah, blah, blah. If you die, it's over, you go to heaven or hell. You know, that's what most people are taught. That's the program that we exist in. But when you look at the science of what energy is, and you recognize that we are energy beings, you know that we are eternal, everlasting, never dying, only transforming. And so you recognize that there has to be something else. If you've had a feeling of something, when you meet someone, and you're like, I feel so comfortable with this person. I feel like I've known this person. I don't know why. I know that I've never met this person before, but something about them makes me feel familiar, like I know them. Well, that's because your soul knows them. Your conscious mind may not recognize somebody, but your soul always does. And you know it by the way that you feel. It's not because I'm telling you. Everyone has had this experience where they connect with someone, and it feels so familiar, like they remember. And when you allow yourself to remember, you remember even more. So this is an indication of a past life. Another indication of a past life is an ability that you have, something that you're really good at. Like, I'll give you an example. I started working with Orgone energy batteries 5 years ago. Before that, I never made any kind of jewelry. I never done any art like this whatsoever in this lifetime. But it came so naturally to me, and I knew that when I was getting information, and I was getting messages on what to do and how to do it. Then I learned that this is the same science that the Egyptians used. Then I learned that this is something that has never left the planet. It's part of nature. And so these things are things that I brought with me from other lifetimes. When it comes to law and the knowledge of law, these are things that I instinctively connect to because it's something that I remember, you know. So it's not the things that I'm getting more knowledge of now, it's not that I'm just now learning it in this lifetime. I brought these things back from past lifetimes, and I'm able to access them in this lifetime and use them for my benefit. And every single soul being has access to the same thing. If there is something that you are really good at and you have never done it before, and there's no reason why you should be so good at it, that's an indication of something that you mastered in a past life.
Yes, indeed.
So everyone has access.
Yes, there's a question again. Would you say that it is okay to engage in the sexual act with your spouse just for fun, or is it always have to have another reason other than fun? That's something I would want. Fun is a part of it. Fun is unavoidable because this is an act. This is the most extreme pleasure that you can experience in this flesh. So it's a very powerful thing. So it is okay to be. It is okay to do anything that you choose to do, that you're not harming anybody. It's not. But the thing is are you going to benefit from the act? So let's say you want to do it just for fun. You're thinking that you're doing it for fun, but you're still creating something. So you want to make sure that if you're saying to your husband, you know, to your significant other, whatever, your wife, I want to, you know, I'm feeling you tonight. You're looking, you know, real sexy. I want to, you know, get me some of that tonight. You know, it's okay to do that, but you also want to have an intention. You know, if you and your significant other are constantly talking about, you know, the great things that you want in life, you're talking about healing, you're talking about getting better, then that's something that's in your subconscious. So every time that you engage, it's going to be fun and it's going to be productive.
but you definitely want to have an intention. And it doesn't mean that every time that you do it, you have to be like, okay, so what exactly is it that you want to manifest right now and do a business meeting before you have sex? But you want to have good intentions when you're engaging. So, yes, I guess that answers the questions. You can have fun. You can have sex and have fun. Just make sure that you have good intentions and that you're using it properly, because either way, you're going to be manifesting something. So you might as well be manifesting something that you want to manifest, something consciously, than just doing it without any care, without any regard. There are some people that will say, don't do it at all because it's only meant for procreation. And there are studies that you can read about where, okay, for example, it's springtime right now. 9 out of 10 people are feeling horny, like they want to do it, like they want to make love, like they want to have sex, whatever it is that they want to call it. They're feeling that energy because nature is in spring. It is springtime right now. So springtime, we're feeling that energy and we're wanting to procreate. If you are not with a partner and you're still feeling that energy, you want to use that energy by creating something outside of you, like do a painting or a project or something that's going to be productive. It'll be fantastic if you use your sexual energy to create anything. But if you are in a relationship, then you definitely want to use this energy right now and start planting seeds of what is it that you want to create and manifest for your family, for your legacy. Those are the things that you want to think about when you are engaging in sexual activity during this time. And then summertime, you're getting the benefits of whatever it is that you've planted, whatever it is that you've been creating. So, but everybody has a different feel. Some people want to do it at 365 days a week. A year, you know what I mean? I've done that. I was that person. I was the person that was doing it 3 times a day. I was that person. And when I went through my cleansing and my self-mastery, it's more of something that I do purposely. It's something that I use my sexual energy for so many other things that it's not just directed in my lower chakras. So I use my sexual energy to create things, to think, to talk to people. I'm using my sexual energy right now, and I know that a lot of you feel it because it comes through in my voice. So this is an energy.
Literally on fire. I'm pretty sure everyone feels it. Energy has no barriers, right?
Yes, and that is something that we can use all the time. And in the wintertime, it slows down for a lot of people where you don't feel as in the mood. You don't really feel like you want to, engage that much in sex, and that's natural too. But really, at the end of the day, it is all based upon your consciousness and how you feel and your experience. Because when it comes to scientifically, mathematically, the way that nature works, there is a formula to it. You do want to have some time where you are not engaging at all in any sexual activity, and that's your time to cleanse and and to regenerate your cells and to regenerate yourself. So, and you choose when that time is for you. You should choose that. But your body and mind are going to work better when you do those things, when you give yourself a break, when you do things, with certain patterns. It's really going to be a benefit for you. But everybody has to do it on their own time. If somebody would have told me 5 years ago, don't have sex every day, I would have been like, get the fuck out of here. Are you crazy?
Must be crazy.
I'm going to do it as much as I can, And that's where I was at the time. That's where I was at the time. And so, and I still feel to this day, I feel like I can do whatever I want when I want. So if I feel like doing it every day, I will. But I don't feel obligated, or I don't feel I'm not manipulated by it. So I have a clear sense of myself.
By the feelings, basically. Yes.
So it's really important to know that you are the master of your life, and you decide what's good for you based on the information that you've attained.
Yes, definitely. So after all that said, guys, if there's any questions, feel free. If I've muted anyone, give me a hint so that I can unmute you, so that you may ask her any questions, because there's belief that she knows her stuff. I will not have brought her on if I knew that she couldn't answer your questions and help you in your path to self-mastery, because this is something that we all need to take on. Whether we know it or not, this is the time. And if anyone has any question, there's another question that just popped up. It says about the energy. Would you say that you have to do certain things to gain, like to be on the frequency of the planet today, or is it going to happen? Can it happen automatically? Also,
you have to do something. You do. There are the forces of nature are available to all people. So if you are in a place where you can see the sunrise and go out and visit the sun gives you healing energy. So when you stand in front of the sun, under the sun, you are getting energy from the sun. It's very powerful. Do your research on the energy of the sun so you know what is happening. You also have access to trees and plants. When you go to the ocean and you plant your feet in the sand and you receive that energy, you're receiving energy from the entire planet, because the waves are always coming and it's bringing sands from all the beaches of all around the world. They're all connected. So this energy comes into us. So there's definitely things that we could do so that we can connect more with the planet, and it's available to us all the time. If you don't have access to going outside, if you don't have access, if you're living in New York City and you're just on brick, concrete, you still have water. And so if you can access water when you're in the shower and you get under that shower and you start cleansing yourself with that water and you speak to the water and you command it to give you healthy cells and to help your body heal, it's going to do that. Research water. There's power in water. There is power in all natural energy that exists, and we have access to it every single day.
Yes. Basically, she's saying that the water understands your vibration. It doesn't. Mm-hmm. You don't tell the water with words using the English or whichever language you speak, but your thoughts. The water connects with your thoughts. Once you command the water to do certain things, it's just going to obey that command and help you with the healing or whatever you commanded it to do. And this is not really spookiness. This is science, guys. You know, I mean, the science community now is coming together with the metaphysical science, which I already have had a brother coming on speaking of metaphysics, and he should be back on. And also the sister here, Sister Marie Morena Torres, she knows also of metaphysics. And the scientific community used to laugh at metaphysics before, thinking that it stands on nothing, until they realize that it's not only what you see that exists, also there are unseen things, or we should even go further to say there's more things that exist that is unseen than there are things that we can see, basically.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, so and know your power, yes.
Yes. One of the most important things that you can do for yourself that's going to connect you with nature is to meditate. Meditation is not an option. You must meditate. What's happening when you're meditating is you are connecting to Source. You are disconnecting from everything outside of you, and it's your time with you, yourself, and Most High, whatever you call it, God, Allah, whatever you call it, Dios, whatever you call it, that's it. And so you have to take time with it. Absolutely. You spend time with that force when you're by yourself, when you're thinking of nothing. You're just in your stillness, you're receiving the energy of Most High. You're receiving and downloading information. Metaphysics is extremely important to who we are, because that is truly how we function. We function metaphysically. Before our bodies get physically sick, our subtle bodies are affected. Your emotions are affected. Your mind is affected, and then it becomes physical. So in order for you to begin your healing process and connect with nature, it is imperative that you meditate. No excuses. You can't have an excuse. You can't say, oh, but I have children. Oh, but I'm tired. Oh, but I don't have time. Everybody has 24 hours in the day, and everyone has to survive this matrix. So you have to make the time. You have to be disciplined about it and do it. My recommendation is 13 minutes, because the number 13 is very powerful, and it's a great place to start. Research the number 13. The number 13 is full of fear for a reason. It is the number of reincarnation, of rebirth, of death and destruction. It is a very powerful number. Every corporation has 13 on their boards. They know what the number 13 does. It is a symbol that is very, very powerful. So use it in your meditation. Set your timer for 13 minutes and just do your meditation every single day. It doesn't have to be at the same time every single day. You can do it sometimes in the morning. And if you skip a day, don't beat yourself up about it. Just start right when you think about it, just start your routine and begin it again, because it's going to take a lifetime for you to undo all of the things that have been done, and you have to be patient with yourself. But the best thing is to do it and to be consistent. And once you do the 13 minutes per week, then you raise it up to 15, then you raise it up to 20. Then you're going to find yourself meditating for an hour, for 2 hours. The more you do it, the more you're going to desire to do it, because it makes you feel good when you're able to only focus on what's happening right now. Yesterday didn't matter. Tomorrow doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is right now in this moment, is what you have control of. And what is happening in this moment is what's creating the future. So however you're vibrating in this moment is going to create your future. So it's important to be conscious of what's happening now, every time. Now. What's happening now is the only thing that matters. And so you want to make sure that you're vibrating at the highest level possible to ensure that you have a healthy, balanced, and abundant future.
Yes. So I'd like to elaborate on that. Like I forgot who said something about this. Same exact thing she just mentioned. It's like when you think of the past, you might think of something that brings down your vibration. You think of the future, it might bring fear of losing your wealth, fear of losing your children moving out, or whatever the future can hold. But if you're in the present, that's where you have the power. You understand? So it's like bringing your whole self into one point, where your whole power is in that one point. You understand? It's very important to live in the moment. Yes, indeed. Thank you for that advice. You can continue.
You're welcome. That was one of the big eye-opening moments for me, Vlad, was that, I started because I had a messenger. When I was in the process of my awakening, there were messengers that were calling me all the time. There would be people that I didn't even know would call me and say, I have a message for you. And I would have, different readers of energies, and they would just show up and give me information. And I remember I was talking to this one gentleman, and he tells me, you have to stop living in the future, because I was so excited about what could happen in the future that I was always in the future. I was never present. And so I had to stop and think about what that meant. And it made sense to me. And I started thinking, okay, so, if I'm in the future, I'm creating things that are not even in my reality at the moment. And so it's like I'm out of it. And then when I'm in the past, I'm feeling all of these energies of that past. Because whenever you give your thought to something, you can make it feel as real as it did the day that it happened. It's specifically when somebody passes away. And transforms, we go back to, we miss them so much in their energy. And when that situation, when they first left us, we go right back to that moment 20 years later, and we cry and we're sad and we're distraught, just like if it happened yesterday. That is energy, and that's how powerful our thoughts are, that it could take us absolutely anywhere. So, and for most people, what's happening is that they are stuck in the past. They're living in the past. They're thinking about the things that happened in the past and the hurt that they felt and what happened and what they did. They're not having gratitude for the challenges that they had that make them who they are today in this now. Because no matter what, when you think of anything about the past and then you stop and you say, okay, how about now? Where am I in this moment right now? I am breathing. I have my arms. I have my motion. I have my legs. I can move. I'm healthy. I feel good. That's a lot. That's a lot to be grateful for, And so when you think of it like that, then you're in a position of power and you're able to say, well, this feels good. And so in that gratitude, then you can move forward. And every moment is like that. So if you can have gratitude in every moment, you're going to create a lot of magnificent things for yourself. But it all begins and ends in your mind. It's all in your mind, all the time.
All in the mind. So, basically, So anyone has any questions for Marie? Any questions, guys? Islam. How you doing, brother?
Everything
right.
I'm here listening to the sister, to the guest speaker. You're welcome to the show. And I have a question regarding, I was listening to everything you were saying, and I have a question regarding the intention of engaging to sexual activities. Have the danger if you don't have the right intention and for its purpose. So what do you do? How do you suppress that such an energy? For example, when we growing up as a child, by the time we're reaching the age of puberty, we have very high sexual energy. So how do you actually suppress that energy from a person at that age engaging to sexual activity? Now knowing that the fact that without the intention and the purpose of its creation, we may be doing something wrong, harmful to our body and our spirit. So how do we suppress being a teenager? Because it's natural. We all, we all went through that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Being a teenager, and all we can go from is from the information that we have now. So for those of us that have teenage offspring or are teenagers, the first thing that you want to do is you want to become familiar with your body, with your inner body, with your subtle body, with your chakra system. And so let's say you have a desire, a sexual desire. You want to be able to bring that energy up throughout all of your chakras, but that does take discipline. I think that when it comes to someone that's young and they're not knowing, it could be difficult to bring this information in. But the one thing is that even when we're young, we know that there's something wrong. Something doesn't feel right if you're masturbating 3 or 4 times a day, you're doing it all the time, male or female. There's something in us that's saying, maybe we shouldn't do that so much, or maybe, so it's important to listen to your consciousness, because you're always going to feel what is right and you're going to feel what is wrong. And I know that sounds crazy, because with sex, once you do it just feels right. But it's important to be able to know what your body is. And the only thing that I can say is that information is the only thing that's going to save a person in their youth. If they're going to do the sexual act, it's important for them to be conscious of what's going on in their mind. So if they're grown up enough to, ejaculate and do all of these things, they have to be grown up enough to have the mentality to be able to do those things. We have to tell them the truth of what happens when we're not conscious, and it's not we don't want to put fear in anybody, but, the only solution to those issues is knowledge and acting upon that knowledge. The universe is not going to say, oh, well, you were young and you didn't know any better, so you're immune to it, or it's not going to affect you. Because no matter who it is, whether it's a child or a grown person, sexual activity is going to be as effective to one person as it is the other, because it's an energy. So it's not something that it's just like, oh, well, you're a good person, so for you it's going to be, you doing the same thing of destructive sexual activity is not going to affect you because you're a good person. It doesn't matter whether a person is good or bad. That's all perception. If a person is using the science and they are practicing it the way that they're supposed to practice, then they're going to get the proper results. And it's not really anything to fear, because everybody has the opportunity to evolve in their own path, but they have to desire to do it. If a person has done that all the time and they're now becoming conscious of then they're not going to be the same. They're not going to be able to, skeet all over the walls every single day, because it's not going to feel right to them. They're going to want something different. And what happens with these teenagers, what's happening, because, see, they're more sexually aroused because of the things that are happening on television and the movies and all of the media. This program is coming in, and it's really abusing our people, because, you'll just open a page on a website, and all of a sudden you're seeing sex. And so that's going to affect the sensitivities of people. And so it's something that really has to be up to the individual to start healing themselves from that, because the sex is already out there. Everybody wants to do it. You're seeing little children engaging. You're seeing them, this is happening all over the world. So it's something that is very individually based, and everybody has to take control of their body. And that's really what it comes down to.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Any other questions, Guy, or anything else you wanted to add on the questions, brother?
No, Islam, peace and love, peace, truth, love, freedom, and justice.
Yeah, definitely. It's truth, love, freedom, and justice. So, any other questions, guys? Don't worry about anything. Most likely, no children on the line, I would say. So, anything you want to ask, you may. All right. Yes, I think no questions as of yet. So anything else you wanted to add, Sister Mary?
I think that we have covered quite a bit of information. I know that it goes really deep. I do want to let you guys know if anybody wants to connect with me for an Orgone energy battery or for consultation, you can reach me directly. And I ask for people to text because I get a lot of phone calls, so it's easier if I get a text first. And my number is 818-233-5776.
818-233-5776.
Yes.
All right. You guys,
and I have
Go ahead, Mary.
Say that again?
Go ahead.
Oh, I have a free healing session that I do every single Friday on Blog Talk Radio, blogtalkradio.com, SCG13. And it's a 20-minute session every Friday at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So it's 6 o'clock for those on the East Coast. And I just talk about tips and tools on how to help with your self-healing. Self-healing is something that you have to do every single day. You're working on it every minute of the day. This is not something that you just do on Sundays or once a week. When you get into the path of self-healing and self-mastery, it's something that is a lifetime. It is life's work. So you want to be patient with yourself. You don't want to beat yourself up about making so-called mistakes. You want to accept the fact that you are perfect in your imperfection. Perfect in your imperfection. You have to accept yourself. You have to love yourself, because this is not an easy road. It will never be an easy road. It is a challenge, and it's meant to be challenging because that's how we learn. So you can't, once you decide that you're going to start doing it, you're not really allowed to turn back because your consciousness will not allow you. So it's just important to be aware and to be disciplined and to be focused. And if you happen to fall off the wagon, as some people call it, you just have to get back on, because there's no easy way around it. Everybody has to do their work. There's not a pill that you could take. Even the Orgone energy is going to help you protect your physical body and your space from negative energy, but you must do the work for your own self-mastery and your self-healing. It's not going to do it for you. It's just there to assist you. You have to make the choice, and you have to stand by your choice and continue to do that. So I hope that everybody that's checking out the broadcast tonight, if you have it within you and you're feeling that there's some change that you must do, you got to do it. And it's not going to go away, that feeling, until you start taking care of it and start doing what your body, what your mind is telling you to do. Let me not say your body, because your body will take you to hell. What your mind is telling you to do.
The body is the baby in the equation.
Exactly. It absolutely is.
Yes, Sister Morena. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that I think it really is a matter of treating yourself the way that you would treat the person that you love. A lot of times we love people and we hide in that love. So we give everything to somebody outside of us and save ourselves for last, or we don't think of ourselves because we love someone so much we want to give them everything. It's important for you to have that same feeling for yourself. And when you start loving yourself like that, you're going to change. Things are going to be different. You're going to be more careful about what you put in your body. You're going to be more careful about who you let inside your body or whose body you go inside. Those things are going to start becoming more important to you, and you're going to start thinking about things more consciously. So, just love yourself, and you'll see that the rest is going to start coming easier and easier. When I say that nothing is going to be that challenges exist, it doesn't mean you can't get through the challenges. You will get through the challenges. You have already so far. So you just have to continue to trust that. But the more love you have for yourself, the easier it's going to be to get through it.
Yes. So this is her advice to us tonight, and we thank you, Sister Marie, for taking on the time. And when nothing is given, and except that we received much from you, and we are grateful for it. Grateful for your time. Grateful for your presence, even in the realm. You understand, because you have done so much, and I say on behalf of those who have not yet discovered you, and those who have just discovered you tonight or so, we say thank you as well. So anyone want to say anything to the sister, either a word of gratification or anything? This is the time, and because, we have kept her for long enough. Although we don't even want to let her go, but, she has to go back to her family. Go back to her family.
Ask you. I have a question for you, Vlad.
Why not? Go ahead.
Where are you from?
I'm from Haiti.
Ah, you're from Haiti.
Yes, born and raised.
I did some work with someone who's from Haiti. Wyclef Jean was someone who I did some work with.
That's what I know. I even hear you helped her in his campaign in his presidency for Haiti, yeah?
Well, no, I did not. I did not assist that because my heart would not allow me to do that. He did not have the best intentions for Haiti, so I did not participate. I just we had some dealings. Yeah, no, well, I did a project for him, and that's when I learned, who he was and what his intentions were, and then I had to pull away from that because we weren't on the same frequency.
Yes. You see, as you guys progress and go on the path to self-mastery, this is everything you entertain, everything you take part of. You have to be conscious of what it is and what's the intention of it. As you never let what we call money dictate our actions. You know what I mean? Because we are the energy. You understand? So there was Yes. There was a beef between you and him, I hear. Is everything okay now?
He called and he apologized to my husband and myself. So as far as I'm concerned, everything is okay. But I would rather not continue a friendship. We're just in a different place. So it's okay.
Yes,
I send him love all the time. It's okay. I just don't want him over.
Yeah. So you never forgive her, do you?
He would have to be he would have to be a different individual. He would have to be a different person. When somebody tells you from their own mouth that they are Hitler, that they are evil, you know what I mean? You have to believe them. You have to allow them to be wherever it is that they are. So, if he wanted to share a table with me, then he would have to be in a different space in order for me to participate. If it was about money, I would have been rich a long time ago with money. I'm an insigniaire. An insigniaire is a person that is not concerned with money yet attracts wealth infinitely because they live in their passion. That is what I am. I'm not concerned with any money. I have everything that I need all the time. And I will never manipulate myself for somebody to give me money.
Yes, very much so. So, but as we know, it's because he needs to grow himself, as a person, to know himself more, so that, because the ego itself, like the devil, is devolution. It's as you grow backwards. You understand? So people that see themselves as evil is because they still have yet to discover themselves. So we wish them all the best. You understand?
Yes, love. Send them love, much love.
Definitely. So just be patient with her great mother. Understand? Be patient with him, as he is a son of yours. On some level.
Absolutely, absolutely. He could call me today. He can call me today, and I will give him nothing but love. Nothing but love. Because the thing is, we do have to embrace those things as well. You know, people act like, oh, I'm a good person and I've never done anything bad to anybody, blah, blah, blah. We all have the devil and the angel inside of us. It's within us, all of it. So we have to be able to balance it so that we don't let either side to take over and have us out of balance. So that's what it is. You know, in my experience with him, I appreciate it, and I love him, and I wish him the best.
Yes, indeed. So, Mary, we really appreciate your time tonight. We thank you for being with us. Hopefully this is not the last.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, definitely. And the people, remember, if anyone needs me to repeat the number, just text the platform on Facebook. You can reach me there.
Yes.
And, you know, when we could always, you know, send out a certain, you know, the recording so that you can repeat it and over the information. All right. Okay. So we thank you, Sister Marie. We're gonna let you go. Unfortunately, you know, I mean, all things that begins as an end. So I don't even have words. You know, I mean, I just don't want to let you go, but we have to. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you so much for having me, Vlad. You guys have a great day. Hasta la próxima. Adios.
Until our first. Okay, good night, Sister Marie, and good night, everyone. Thanks for being here with Mary tonight. And I hope, like myself, everyone enjoyed the call. Everyone enjoyed her voice. The voice alone, you know, I mean, is enough to make you feel good. You understand? And on top of that is the knowledge also. You know, I mean, so we'll make sure to have her on again. Anytime, you know, I mean, there's something new with her, she want to share with our community. And I felt like I owed it to the Haitian community and those who are connected with us that are not Haitian, you know, on a physical level, but at least, you know, we're still the same, you know what I mean? When I say Haitian community, not only the Haitians, also those who are connected to the Haitians and things like this. So I felt like I had to bring her on. To let you guys connect with her and support her endeavors and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Because everything she's doing is selfless, you understand? It's basically for all to benefit from, you know what I mean? And I watch her closely, and I try to do anything I can, you know, on a low down level, you know what I mean? But we have to do this. We have to make sure we support those that are trying to help raise the consciousness of the people, you know what I mean? At least, you know, I mean, the universe itself will take us forward because we will benefit as well in that. You understand? So this is our path, you know what I mean? This is our intention to grow together with love, peace, truth, freedom, and justice for all. And I hope you guys all have a great night. And hopefully we see you guys again next weekend, Sunday. And travel well tonight and have a great night as usual. And like the sister said, do not worry about anything. Be in the present no matter what happens. Keep an open mind and keep a positive mind. And it all will come to normal. You understand? So your mind is everything. There's nothing outside of your mind. Anything that exists other than the money, you understand, the money itself has value because you give it value. If you say you don't want the money, then nothing can give it value to you. Just like we know certain people like Gaddafi and all of them, you know, who did not sign the contract with the IMF, it's because they didn't want to not give it value because they know they are the valuable being, you understand? So it's all about us. It's all for us and all by us. So know your power, attach, you know, and get tapped into your power and bring to the plane what we wish it to be this time. What it is the golden age back again. You understand? But if we just sit back and not make it happen because we know we are the ones to bring it forth, if we don't do the work and be conscious of what we need to do, then trust me, it will not happen because nothing happens without our consent. You understand? So just have a great night. Thank you for being with us, and I can never thank you enough. And the sister, again, much love to her, and we hope her with all our hearts that she reaches as many hearts as possible. And then we beg the universe to keep her in a bubble of protection that we build around her with the love we have for her in our hearts. And there's not more I can say because she's just amazing. You understand? So I hope you guys see that through her voice and her speech tonight also. And we thank you for being here, and have a great night. Peace and love.